Most dads aren't overweight because they are lazy or they don't care. It's mainly because they're trying to guess their way through fat loss. They're overwhelmed with conflicting information online, starting again every Monday and wondering why the fuck nothing sticks. If you are a busy dad, this is your new starting point. This is going to change the way you do things if you watch to the end. I am going to give you 4 habits that'll remove the guesswork, help you build momentum, and help you lose fat without tracking everything like some sort of robot. Here's what I'm going to cover today. A dead simple meal system called the 1-3-5 system that I use with my personal clients. A training rule for dads who don't have time, which is most of us, right? How to use short fat loss sprints to accelerate progress. And 1 habit every coach tells you to skip that I recommend you don't. Let's get into it. Habit 1, using the 1-3-5 meal system. Forget tracking every gram, forget MyFitnessPal for the time being, that has its place, but right now just put that to the back of your mind. Forget the endless scrolling of recipes and finding things to cook. The 1-3-5 system removes the food drama, removes guesswork from the equation. We are creatures of habit, all right? That's likely what's led you to be in the situation you are right now, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. So we typically eat the same kind of meals over and over again. So why not come up with a few meals that you enjoy eating that actually help you drop body fat rather than gain it? So here's what that would look like. 1-3-5 stands for 1 breakfast option, 3 lunch options, and 5 dinner options. Breakfast is the easiest meal to control. So once you've found a good breakfast that you like, it's pretty easy to have that Monday to Friday. 3 lunch options that you can rotate throughout the week, depending on whether you're in the office, working from home, or on the road. And then 5 dinner options that you can rotate with the family. That takes care of Monday to Friday. That's it. You build your own personal meal list based on a few key rules. Every meal has at least half a plate of protein. That is the predominant macronutrient in each meal. You load up on vegetables in every single meal if you can. You have low to medium levels of carbs depending on your goals. You don't worry about diet pills. Those are the simple rules with this 1-3-5 system. Once you've got those meals down, you just rotate them throughout the week. You're removing the friction. This reduces stress. It allows you to just focus on keeping the goal a goal. You don't have to wonder about what to cook. You don't have to figure out every little detail. You have the plan. Now, it's not fancy, it's not sexy, it's not like some magic formula, but if you do it consistently, it will work. The key is to pick foods that you actually like, that you can see yourself eating regularly, cook in batches, and keep it simple and tasty. If you're making 15 different meals a week, is it any wonder that you can't stick to a process? No. Simplify your life and fat loss follows. Habit 2, block out 2 to 3 training sessions a week, like they're business meetings. These get blocked out as business meetings in your calendar. Let me ask you this. Would you cancel a client call last minute for no reason? Would you just skip your kid's football match because you didn't feel like it? No, you wouldn't. So stop treating your workouts like that. Stop ghosting your workouts. Unless something urgent comes up, they're not negotiable. Most fail to train consistently because they don't treat it like an actual priority. Training has to become a priority in your mind if you want it to stick. All you need is 2 to 3 training blocks for at least 30 minutes at a time. You could even get away with 20 minutes. Put them in your calendar, treat them like unmissable meetings. You do not miss these. You don't need to be a gym rat. You don't need to be training 5-6 days a week. You just need to be consistent and reliable with those 2 to 3 workouts a week. You lift, you go home, you get on with your day, you go spend time with the family. That's it. But they're in your calendar at the start of each week. Create the time and protect it because it really, really does. 3, use short, aggressive fat loss sprints, then take a break. This is the big one because most dads try to lose fat the wrong way. They go slow, gentle, sustainable right from the get-go. And 4 months later, they've only lost 2 kilos. They feel like they failed. They've got no momentum. They don't feel like they're making fast enough progress. And so they go off the rails and then they start again. Here's how I coach fat loss. 8 to 10 weeks of aggressive dieting. Yes, this is hard work. You create a steep calorie deficit and you push it hard for a short block of time. You then have 2 to 4 weeks back at maintenance, bring the food back up, recover, enjoy yourself for a couple of weeks, and then if you need to, you go on another sprint. But doing it like this makes it more manageable rather than this big, long, I've been dieting for the last year. No. Aggressive fat loss works better. It's about getting results in a short period of time and easing off the gas so you can reset without rebounding and gaining a load of weight back. This works well because you see results fast, which increases momentum, which increases motivation, which then forces you to keep going down the rabbit hole. And you never get stuck in that endless dieting sort of mode of like, nothing's happening, nothing's changing, what do I do? You want to avoid that at all costs. Fat loss isn't supposed to be forever. It's a sprint. It's not a lifestyle. If you want more on this concept of aggressive fat loss, I made a video about it. I'll try and throw it up somewhere for you to watch. Habit 4, stop skipping breakfast and eat a protein-packed one instead. Now, I know intermittent fasting is all the rage, right? You wake up late, you make a coffee, you skip breakfast, and by 11 a.m., you're face first in the biscuit tin in the office or at home if you're working from home. This is where most guys fall off the rails before lunchtime even happens. Everyone's telling you just save your calories for the end of the day and you'll be able to enjoy more food with your family. And maybe that works for some people, but I'm telling you right now, from the evidence I'm seeing with a lot of the guys I'm working with, front-loading protein for guys, especially dads with young kids, works really well. Skipping breakfast may be setting you up for failure. Instead, start the day with a high protein breakfast that hits 40 to 50% of your protein goal for the day. I know that sounds high, but it works. So let's say you were a 200-pound man and you were aiming for a minimum of 170 grams of protein a day. You would be trying to hit anywhere between 70 to 85 grams in that first meal, which yes, sounds high, but this works really well for 3 specific reasons. 1, breakfast is typically the easiest meal of the day to control. That means if the rest of the day doesn't go to plan, for whatever reason, you already know that you've made a big dent in your protein goal, you are already in control and you know you've made a solid start. Point 3, it prevents mid-morning cravings, energy slumps, or mindless snacking later in the day. It sets you up for a recipe of success and high energy. Now, my go-to breakfast for something like this is 500 grams of low-fat skim yogurt, throw in a scoop of protein powder, whatever flavor works for you. I add some banana, blueberries, honey, that kind of thing. That pot is around 70 grams of protein and between 500 and 600 calories, depending on like the ratios of the other numbers. Takes 2 minutes to make. Whilst the kids are getting ready, whilst everything's a mess in the morning, I can eat that really quickly, simple, easy, done, 7 grams of protein, down the hatch, off we go. It's easy to do that. You control that. You can control breakfast. You might not be able to control the other meals, so focus on that first meal. So let's recap for a second over the 4 things. 1-3-5 meal system. Build a simple rotation of meals that you enjoy, that you can stick to without overthinking. 2 to 3 training blocks a week that get booked into your calendar every single Sunday, and they don't move unless they really have to. They are non-negotiable. Aggressive fat loss sprints for 8 to 10 weeks at a time, followed by a break period, works much better for fat loss in the long run than the slow and sustainable approach. Point 4, protein-packed breakfast every single morning that sets you up for success later in the day. Now, if you do these 4 things consistently over a long enough period of time, you will lose a significant amount of weight over a 6-month period. You will. Not from tracking every gram, giving up your weekends or giving up your family pizza night, but from following a system that works for you. It works for you as a dad. It's easy to implement. The hard thing is doing it consistently. If you want help doing this, if you want the coaching, the structure, the accountability to make it stick, which is the hard thing for most guys, I've given you the formula, but can you make it stick? You might want to consider joining the Jack Dad Club, which is my coaching program. You can either reply to this video or hit the link in the description to find out more about it. I help guys implement this system into their life so that they can lose 30, 40, 50 pounds over a 6-month period and not only maintain that, but then start to transition into building a physique that they're proud of. No influencer, just the stuff that works for guys like us with families, trying to balance our career, our family life, social life, and everything in between. If you're ready to do that, let's get to work.